The NYPD has been on the front lines of the coronavirus crisis, keeping the city safe during this new normal that we're all in. That, of course, also means officers themselves are at risk. The latest numbers show more than 4,400 members of the NYPD have tested positive for coronavirus. More than half have already recovered and returned to work. But sadly, 31 members of the force have passed away. Joining us now via Skype is NYPD Chief of Department Terrence Monahan to kind of fill us in on things. So how are you doing? Good to speak with you again.
Good speaking to you, Kori. Glad to be here. It's been a tough time with the NYPD.
So last time we talked, it was as the crisis was really ramping up with increasing numbers of officers getting sick. So I'm just curious off the bat how you describe the current level of health within the department.
Well, it's gotten a lot better. On April 9th, we hit our high of 7,155 uniformed members out sick. That was approximately 20% of our department. We've gotten a lot of members back with less going out sick right now. We're down to 4,707 currently out, 13%. So that's the good numbers that we're looking at. Obviously, we're still dealing. We've lost 31 members of this department, 6 uniform, 20 civilians, and 5 auxiliaries. But we still have 41 members hospitalized at this time. So our thoughts and prayers go out to those that are still trying to recover.
Yeah, obviously we're all thinking about them. And look, we're thinking about all the folks who are, again, on the front lines, trying to keep the city safe and putting themselves at risk as they do it. I want to ask you, because you guys made a bust yesterday. It was pretty interesting. It got a lot of attention out of the Flatiron District. So basically, as I understand it, somebody flags some officers on the street to tell them about a gathering going on in the commercial building, and there's like a pot party happening inside. I'm curious, are there a lot of calls about social distancing and things like that coming into you guys?
Yeah, we're averaging close to 1,000 calls a day coming in for various levels of social distancing, besides our officers being waved down on the streets, and we're responding to them. The vast majority, we can end up with just a conversation, educating, getting people to comply. And that's what our ultimate goal is. We don't want to have to summons people or arrest them. But when you have egregious behavior, such as what happened in the Flatiron District, that many people together, smoking marijuana, trespassing in a building, yeah, at that point, we're going to summons and make arrests. Same as what happened at a couple of social clubs where we had upwards of 60 people inside social clubs serving alcohol illegally. In each one of the social clubs we hit, someone was in there in possession of a firearm. So obviously these large gatherings, we're going to make arrests and summonses. But for the vast majority of events, we want to be able to just warn people and get them to comply.
Okay, so I want to follow with this, because the new rule says that if you're in New York State and you're in public and you can't be socially distant, you're supposed to be wearing a mask or a face covering. I'm curious, do you see people following that out there, and are you actively enforcing it, or again, is that just a conversation?
It's a conversation. And for the most part, if you drive around New York City, you're going to see people wearing masks, especially if they're in close contact with somebody. If someone's running by themselves, no one around them, they don't need to wear the mask at that point. But the moment that they're in conversation with somebody else, we expect them to put that mask on, and we're going to talk to them. We are not looking to summon somebody because they don't have their mask with them. What we want is compliance. We want people to understand the gravity of the situation is that their actions could put other people's lives at risk.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. I think, if you haven't gotten it by now, I don't know that you're going to get it. But seriously, we all have a role to play here to keep everyone else safe. Before you go, I got to ask about crime for a moment, because the latest CompStat numbers, I was looking at them. Murders are up nearly 6% compared to this time last year. Burglaries are up 27%. Car thefts up almost 63%. What do you make of those numbers?
Well, when you look at what's been happening ever since we're into this new normal, and I'll take March 12th as we started into this new normal, murders have gone up. They're up almost 20% at this point. Burglaries up, like you said, 25%. Those property crimes are going up, and we're having issues. We're having issues throughout the city with property crime. Obviously, businesses are closed. There are people out on the street right now who are looking to take advantage. It's our job to make arrests, and we have. We've had some issues with prosecutions in various boroughs with cases being deferred because of the health crisis that's going on right now. It's something that we've spoken to specifically with Eric Gonzalez in Brooklyn. He's agreed to work with us so that some of these individuals, and some bad individuals, we had a parolee out on parole for burglary. He does a burglary, gets arrested for it, gets out right away for COVID, deferred prosecution, gets arrested again 16 days later for a burglary, and he's deferred again, back out on the streets. These are the sort of individuals that we need off the streets to help keep these businesses safe. They can have a tough time opening up as is. The last thing they need to do is go back to their stores and see it's been burglarized.
All right. Well, Chief, we appreciate the fact you took the time out to talk with us. Again, our thoughts are with the officers who are currently out sick, recovering from COVID. And again, our thoughts with the department, because I know you folks are going through some real stuff as you try and, do the job. And the job needs to get done, even as many of us are staying home and staying inside. So, Chief, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kori.